we're going to talk, as I said, about sort of workforce development, careers in manufacturing. And so we're very pleased to have here, I see Shantel coming right on up. Shantel McClendon is here from PepsiCo, the HR department. So really somebody good to hear from if you're interested in a manufacturing career. Scott Clark, who's coming across from here, is the plant manager at Hormel, which I had the opportunity to tour just a few weeks ago. We have Dr. Evans, I see him coming around, with Georgia Piedmont School of Industrial Technology and Legal Studies. And I can't think of a better guy to hear from. And Chance Nesbitt is here from International Paper, another big employer in the Tucker area, who I think we have a couple folks here from Decide to Cab. They did some incentive work to get and keep International Paper in the area and make sure that we help them be successful in our area. So would you welcome our folks that we're going to hear from? I don't think we're going to surprise you by saying we want you to introduce yourself briefly, 60 seconds or so. There's a couple of microphones there. If you'll just tell us a minute about who you are and what you do at your place, and then we're going to ask you some questions to dig into that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, my name is Scott Clark. I'm the plant manager at Hormel Foods here in the Tucker area. So we are about 415 employee facility, union facility, located just off of Montreal Industrial, off of La Vista Road. We're a two-division plant for Hormel. We have our grocery products division where we make canned chili and canned Denny board beef stew. You see some examples or samples on your table. And then on the other side of the plant, we make, on the refrigerated side, we make microwave bacon, ready-to-eat bacon for mainly food service and our retail customers.
Terrific, thanks. Chance?
I'm gonna have to get a taste test of some of that Hormel. All right, my name is Chance Nesbitt. I'm the site manager at International Paper preprint facility. We make high graphics print, so you can see the boxes, some samples of the boxes that we make. We do the outside liner of the boxes, then we ship those rolls to a box plant where they cut them and glue them together and make boxes. And then, the end customer puts the product inside the box.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I was talking to him earlier. I was so impressed by, the box we see every day in the store. Never would have known all the different pieces that go into that. Sorry, it's part of my 60 seconds. Let me go. Dr. Arthur Evans, I'm the Dean of Industrial Technologies and Legal Studies over at Georgia Piedmont Technical College. We hope you would definitely, students, consider that as an avenue for your next step. A lot of different programs that we're running out of there definitely in line with manufacturing and a lot of different interests from industry for like specialized training in those areas. I've been with the college for a total of about 5 years and started as the Dean last year. So thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Shantel McClendon. I am the HR director for the Georgia market for PepsiCo. So our Stone Mountain facility is here in DeKalb County, and we manufacture in that location Propel and Aquafina, but we also, from a warehousing standpoint, all of our products. So very excited to be here, get to know everyone, and share all of our experiences from a manufacturing career standpoint.
Wait, hold on to the microphone, because I'm going to ask you the first question.
Okay.
Pepsi just recently made a really big investment in Tucker, did they not?
Yes, they did.
So
PepsiCo, our Stone Mountain facility, will be expanding over 200,000 square feet in DeKalb County. Our current location, we're going to be bringing some more jobs to the area, at least 136 jobs, and within manufacturing and warehousing. And we're really excited for the partnership with the City of Tucker and the career opportunities we'll have for the community here. So very excited.
She did not mention $250 million investment in that Pepsi plant that's over there. It was already, thank you. It was already one of their most advanced manufacturing plants, and this is going to ramp that up beyond really most of our imagination. And I hope we get a chance to talk about that as we go along, or maybe you can talk to her about it during some of our break times. It's very exciting. We're grateful for Pepsi committing and recommitting to being here in Tucker, and we want to, as with all of our employers, we want to do everything we can to help you succeed. So thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, Dr. Evans, you you're looking here at some of your future students. All of you are looking at your future workforce and leadership in your companies. Now don't get excited, you don't get to start as a leader. But there are lots of opportunities, and that's part of what you do, right? You're helping them get educated and form the foundation for a career. Why? Why should they think about manufacturing?
You know, when you think about kind of the thing with jobs like these, in some cases, especially at the technical college level, many people don't come to it first because they're thinking maybe about a 4-year degree. But what we're doing, we are changing kind of the mindset of really a lot of how students and families, parents look at some of these degree areas, because there's a dire need. When I say dire need, these are areas where, you know, as I mentioned, the box over here, people go to the store and buy it, but there's no one to make it, you know, and there's a lot that goes into that. And we're not just talking about somebody folding paper in the factory floor. They are working with machines that have to be programmed, that have to be repaired, that have to be maintained. These are machines that, you know, as you just mentioned, the investment of $250 million, we're talking about price tags of things that require also highly skilled students and staff. So we are training students now in all different areas, from just general manufacturing, assembly plant, programming, electronics, even mechanical. And one of our biggest areas right now is mechatronics. The combination of kind of the electronics, electrical, mechanical, and even software. Because these areas where the jobs we're talking about, they're going to require a multifaceted skill set. And so, you know, for years we've been talking about STEM. This is where it culminates. This is where the things you've learned in high school, where you really are able to apply them and do them every day. So that's really kind of the approach we've been using, from the student approach, but also incumbent worker training as well.
Yeah, great. Let me pause 1 second because I got a question for you guys. I think I was supposed to tell you, you have some little notebooks at your table that were provided by one of our folks here. If you have a question, we're going to have a question and answer time here in a few minutes. If you have a question you'd like to ask, you can scribble it on a piece of paper from that pad. Just hold it up anytime while we're talking here, and we'll collect those, and they're going to bring them to me so that I can ask your questions when we get to that in just a few minutes. So, I did not grow up dreaming to be the mayor of Tucker. I never thought about being a mayor. It was not in my plan. I've raised 3 daughters. They didn't know what they wanted to be when they grew up. I'm going to guess that you guys did not spend your childhood thinking about making boxes or chili or any of those things. Let's start here with you, Scott. How did you end up in manufacturing, and what have you found to be the benefits of a career in manufacturing?
So for me, I went to college. I actually went through ROTC, right? I got commissioned. I went to the military. Did 6 years active duty Army. And when I came out, you know, you want to try to find a career that you're accustomed to, that you know that you're good at. So manufacturing was really the one that was very similar to what I was doing. So I could assimilate very well. So as I got out of the military, I started at Kraft Foods at their Maxwell Coffee plant in Jacksonville, Florida. You know, I made maintenance engineering and kind of worked my way up through the operations field at that point. As I worked through my career, obviously you get a firm interest in the manufacturing space. You know, because for me, you know, it's all about operations, right? Operations can really be summed up into 3 components, right? It's buy, make, ship. So for us, we do all 3 at our facility. And what the interest or the joy that I get out of it is really being able to go to the store and see a tangible product that comes out of my facility, right? That I can literally, I go to Publix right now, or when I go to the grocery store, I'll stop in the canned food aisle. You know, I'll pick up a can of chili and I'll evaluate it and look at it. I know exactly on a cold day where it came from, if it's at my facility, and you know, if I see something wrong, I buy the can, I bring it right back, and I show it to my staff. You know, because for us, it's all about the quality of product and getting a good quality product out there. You know, representing Hormel Foods, and so for me, that's how I got into operations and the joy I get out of it.
Great. Chance, how about you? How did you end up where you are? How long have you been in manufacturing and in your role?
I've been in manufacturing for 12 years now. I actually, I was a college athlete. I played football at the University of Memphis. Go Tigers. And I also was a teacher and a coach for 8 years. and got the opportunity to get an international paper in the management program, and it's pretty much the same as coaching. I mean, you got to coach people to do the things that you need them to do to be successful. So it really translated really well to manufacturing. So I was really excited when I got the opportunity to do this and just continue to grow in this field. You never really think where a box comes from, but 90% of everything that you get in America comes in a box. And never really thought about it like that, but when you sit and think about it, it's a major responsibility. Kind of like when the pandemic hit, we were like a rare essential business. So it's like it never shuts down, It's job stability, if you want to say that. So it's always needed, and like you said, I don't want to copy off of them, but I go in the store too and turn that box around and say, who made that box? And we got little codes on there where we know the person who made it also, so you can go straight back to them. And I'm working on Pepsi to let us make their boxes too.
Well, and thanks for that comment. A couple of years ago, we were forced to think through essential businesses, right? And it turns out they're all essential, right? Your job, your company, it's essential. It's essential to your suppliers, to your customers, to the people that work for you. So yeah, when you start to think that way, you realize it's all essential. So there's all kinds of manufacturers. There's no one way of doing anything, right? You guys had to figure out the best, most efficient way to make those boxes and get them out the door in good quality. Hormel makes, I've toured their plant. They make chili and Denny Moore stew, bacon raw and cooked to go out in the market. Y'all been there 52 years, is that what I saw? 52 years in Tucker doing what they do. On the advanced end of the scale, this new expansion at Pepsi, I hear things about it's going to include artificial intelligence and all sorts of engineering and those kinds of skills. What about that? Manufacturing is changing in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about manufacturing, some people may think of the more physical piece of it, labor piece, but we're really going automation. And when you think about the expansion we're making, there's going to be a lot of automation in our facilities. And so what we were just talking about earlier, there's a special skill programming and things like that. So not only from a leadership perspective, but in our front line, there are going to be a lot of opportunities to upskill. We're going to be implementing an upskill program to make sure our current employees and those who have an interest in getting into manufacturing and this advanced manufacturing can get the skills they need to do so.
Awesome. So there's a lot of that in, once you get your basic education, maybe get your first job, there's a lot of training, a lot of opportunities, you hope, at your employer to grow and learn more.
Absolutely. When you think about coming into a facility like Stone Mountain for Pepsi, coming in entry level, we want someone who's hardworking, who's going to be dependable, because we can really train you to do the work that we do in our production facility and our warehouse. We're going to equip you with the skills based on what we do. We need someone who's dedicated, eager to work and learn and grow, and that's going to take you a long way in a manufacturing career.
Great. You anticipated my next question. Chancey, are you involved in the hiring at International Paper? It's been a big deal over the last few years, especially to find staff, right? How does somebody stand out when they come to see you about a job at International Paper?
Yeah, definitely I'm involved in the hiring. Just the same kind of things that she said, somebody that's dependable, that is going to actually want to come to work. We've been having a lot of issues with, we'll do our new hire process. They may last 2 or 3 days just through the training process and not show back up. So that's been a big issue as far as people not wanting to work. You have to want to work. Like she said, we can train you to do anything, and there's lots of opportunities. We start off, at the minimum salary, but there's a lot of opportunities to grow. The more skills that you learn, the more that you're able to earn. We kind of have a pay for skills program, so every skill that you earn is like another raise. So it gives you motivation to, raise up, and then you also have opportunities to get into the leadership after that if you show the promise. So, we do look and observe and see who's has the potential to, grow with the company.
Terrific. Scott, you too?
Same as before. I mean, labor is probably our number one issue in the facility. just really getting the dependable folks, the folks that really want to be there and really want to show the passion to really want to do manufacturing. You know, everybody has to, they think that they want to do it until they actually get on the floor and realize what they're actually getting themselves into, then it's a different story.
It's true with most things.
So, but at the end of the day, you know, you can make a pretty good living. We have some folks on the floor that are actually doing very well, you know, with the jobs that they do. So for us, I mean, we start at over $20 an hour. So, you know, coming into the door. I mean, we're a union facility, so we have a contract. So at the end of the day, $20 an hour in our highest wage rate, you know, depending upon where you go, it could be 34. So it just depends. So you actually can make a very good living, you know, coming to at least the Hormel Foods, but just in general in manufacturing. You know, actually, you know, I was talking with my HR manager, we probably have some folks on the floor doing better than some salaried folks at the end of the day. You know, with the overtime that they make and so forth, that's very real. So, you know, I hate to see that the manufacturing space is kind of a dying industry a little bit. So with students here, we can definitely get more of an interest into it because it's here to stay. I mean, people are always going to need food, boxes, soda, whatever the case may be. So it's definitely here to stay.
Good. All right, Dr. Evans, you're on the front end of that equation. You're preparing young people to have skills, but also soft skills, people skills, work skill, relationship skills. How do they get themselves ready during the years that you might have them?
One of the things I think that's important, you know, as you guys are in the final stage, you know, high school wise of your careers or your lives, it's important to develop a strong work ethic. I mean, when people need you to be somewhere, I mean, just to say in layman's terms, when you're supposed to be somewhere, be there. And when you take responsibility for something, do your best to be accountable. One of the things that we do as well is that we make sure when students come through our programs, we assess work ethic skills like attendance, attitude, and 9 other aspects of making sure that, you know, students understand that, you know, employers that, especially the ones that are represented up here, they need those skill sets. It's one thing to, you know, like they said, you know, train someone in a subject area or a specific task. But certain things, you know, you can't, you know, make somebody per se or really train attendance after a certain point. So that dedication is important. Those work ethics areas are very important, and that's one of the things that we spend a lot of time on in all of our programs at Georgia Piedmont Technical College. So that's something that we, like all this mentioned up here, we're seeing issues as well, but we're trying to train as well.
Yeah. Looking for. You got some questions? If you have questions, you can still get them to us. She's about to hand me all these scraps of handwriting, which I'm going to attempt to decipher. Thank you. So that you guys can hear what you want to hear about. How do you work to change the negative image of manufacturing and the institutional slant toward college education and vocational education? She's grabbing the microphone.
Yes, so I'm very passionate about this subject. So my experience graduating from college, I never thought I was going to be in manufacturing, and then I've been in manufacturing for the last 10 years. And so for me, there's this stigma, but manufacturing is very exciting work to do. So I'm very big on knowing how things are made. I'm very interested in those things and really getting to know the people who I work with. Working in HR, no, I'm not on the plant floor every day, but knowing what those employees put into their work every day and the excitement and the skills that you learn, that is what is exciting about manufacturing. And, you know, similar to what they were saying earlier, you don't know all it takes to make a box or even make a bottle of our soda, and it's very exciting work that you learn so much in. And to me, the way we take the stigma away is events like this, talking about what is so exciting about manufacturing and the careers you can grow, because you can. I've worked in manufacturing and see people come in, entry-level roles, grow a career, become leaders, and become site managers, become plant directors, and things like that. You have so much opportunity, and I think events like this exposing students and, quite frankly, even people who are well into their career to what manufacturing has to offer is going to help us break that stigma.
Terrific. I'll add a little to that. There's nothing wrong with going to college. If you want to go to college, definitely go. But everybody doesn't go to college, so you have to have something to fall back on. and going to a technical institute is a great way. I know people who are welders that took a 1-year class straight out of high school, and they're making $120,000 a year, you know, so it's a great thing. But you know, as far as manufacturing, just it's not as bad as people think, you know. In my facility, it's air conditioning, so we do have a little leg up on most places, but a lot of those places are a little warm in the summertime.
Great. All right, here's a different question. We've been talking about a lot of young people and entry-level sort of things. Are there any opportunities for experienced persons who are 40 plus years old, maybe looking to get into manufacturing for the first time? Or
I would say absolutely. You know, if you've demonstrated a track record, especially if you're an experienced hire, you have a track record of being successful where you are, a good attitude, passionate about it, absolutely. You know, you just apply with your normal process, and absolutely, it's not an issue at all. I mean, we hire experienced hires all the time, so it's not a problem for us at all.
I will respond to that as well too, because as he mentioned, we pretty much have a steady incoming crowd of people who typically sometimes are retooling. And the technical college area is one where, you know, somebody may be ending a career and trying to start another one. The manufacturing area, I mean, we have people coming from all other backgrounds coming in to kind of get upskilled and trained. And also too, one of the things, and Mr. Scott, actually we do something with you guys as well with regards to incumbent worker training. We have an apprenticeship program.
yeah, talk about that a little bit.
And so in-house what we do, we actually work with some companies within the county in kind of our service area to provide specialized training for them. In the current cohort that we're doing right now, and actually I'm teaching some of those students, we're teaching them areas of industrial maintenance. And we're not just talking about, like I said, you know, boring area. We really are teaching them hands-on skills. Right now, the class we're going through right now is in reliability. She mentioned what was talked about AI. One of the kind of the precursors of that, we're teaching them preventive and predictive maintenance. So when you think about a manufacturing setting, you know, the skill of being able to tell whether something's going to break down before it breaks down, that's an advanced skill set. And working with equipment and technology that's able to do that, that's not something you just walk out of the you know, elementary school knowing. As you guys are at this level in high school, this is something that you can learn, and we train students on that as well. So from the incumbent worker side, you guys entering the career space for the first time, we are training in that those advanced skill sets in manufacturing.
Great. I want to emphasize something you started to mention a minute ago, because there's a question here about wages, what can a person expect to earn, and so on. But this idea of a 4-year college degree, you said you have people working on the floor who are probably making more money than management people. They're probably also making more money than a whole lot of college graduates, right? So this idea of getting some training that gets you into this sort of industry that launches you toward more training and more opportunities and so forth, that's an important thing for people to be aware of, right?
No, that's very important. So on top of at Pepsi coming in, and you can start at a really good entry-level wage, we have a lot of things available to you. So for our Stone Mountain facility that we're expanding, we're going to have an apprenticeship program. We're going to be partnering with technical colleges in the area. To do that, it's going to be an opportunity for our current employees to upskill, as well as those in the community who may have technical aptitude, mechanical aptitude, who want to get into maintenance. We're also have courses and programs that you can participate in within PepsiCo, where you can get certifications, get degrees. We have a tuition reimbursement program that you can participate in. And our apprenticeship program and our upskill program, we are utilizing that tuition reimbursement program that we have available to all of our employees in order to help them get those upskills and get those experiences. And that's not only going to take you a long way in any manufacturing frontline career, but we can also help you develop those soft skills to become leaders within our company as well.
Good deal. Go ahead. You want to tack on to that?
Just a little tack on. I would bet to guess that over 60% of people that went to college and got a degree are not working in that same major that they went to in college as well. So that happens a lot.
Yep. What about, there was a question here relating to, suppose I start with your company and I'm doing fine, but I don't love the particular job that I'm doing. What about moving around? I think you've mentioned uptraining, retraining. Are there lateral as well as horizontal, vertical kinds of opportunities?
So for us, I think once you get in the door, obviously we're going to place you in an initial position, right? And if you'll be evaluated. For us, for new hires, we have a 12-week evaluation process that they get a one-on-one evaluation every week. And at the end of that 12-week process, we start off with our hard hat. They're called a yellow hat. So yellow hats, they're on the floor, typically, probationary employees that were within their 12-week period. After the 12th week, then they transition to their normal white hard hat that they as a normal employee. But during that 12 weeks, right, they're giving feedback, and if they're in a position where they're not doing particularly well in the role, then we'll try to find a fit for them, particularly in the facility, because we don't want to lose that particular employee, especially if good employee, good attitude, we want to try to work with them to see because where we think their initial fit may not always be. So they may have an interest to go somewhere else once they see other facets of the plant. And once we do that, if they're not working, then we try to work with them to go to another area where we feel they will excel.
That's a really important point that I think when I talk with young people, they may not have all that perspective, right? They're nervous about interviewing, they're hoping to get the job and all that. You guys are nervous, as it were, on your side too, right? You want to be sure you get the right person, and from there it's not a matter of testing them and knocking them out. You want to help them succeed, right? I mean, once you've made that commitment, everybody wants to make it work.
Absolutely, because it's a cost to us to train you multiple times. So I only want to train you one time, and then get you going.
Well, tell us a little bit about what y'all do. There's several questions about what sort of outreach do you do to try to find prospective employees, and what should they know about how to find you? How does that go in your place, Chance?
Well, recently we put ads out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Indeed. We've done a few job fairs. We did a job fair yesterday, as a matter of fact, and had a really good turnout. I want to say maybe over 25 people applied. So we're always looking to outreach and as much advertisement as we can do. And I think we want everybody to stay in the city of Tucker, but International Paper does have over 200 facilities across the United States. So what you're talking about growth, you can start here in Tucker and move up the ranks, and then you can go to corporate or go to different facilities. We have mills, paper mills, we have box plants, we have specialty facilities, so it's a variety of things that you can get into.
Great.
And I would add to that PepsiCo has similar experiences. So we have our Stone Mountain facility, largest facility in Georgia, and it's about to be the third largest facility in PepsiCo. So, but also, not only do we have manufacturing jobs in that Stone Mountain facility, we have sales jobs, merchandising, drivers. We have under one roof so many opportunities for you to grow, and you'll see at PepsiCo a lot of people will start in one department and grow. Maybe they start in the warehouse, they go to merchandising, and then they maybe get their CDL and become a truck driver. There's so many opportunities at Pepsi under one building, but then similar to what Chance was saying, we have locations all across the country. In Georgia alone, we literally just opened our 12th location. Our employees move in this week into our 12th location in Georgia. So we have so many opportunities for you to grow. We want you to come to Stone Mountain and grow there, but we have so many other opportunities across the state and across the country with PepsiCo to grow a long-lasting career. And what you'll find at PepsiCo is there are a lot of people who work at Pepsi and have been here with long tenured careers and have had so many great different experiences in their career.
Terrific. All right, Dr. Evans, there's a question here about how do you coach your students or advise them to sort of find their way? How do they figure out or even become aware of all these different kinds of opportunities in manufacturing?
That's a good question. And actually, one of the things we work heavily with our recruitment. Actually, Kelly Pollard back there in the back, he's our director of recruitment at the college. And also Dr. Holston back there, he's actually the president. of Georgia Piedmont Technical College. We work hand in hand with a lot of events just like this. We actually most recently had an event where we had parents and students come through our convention center. And it was basically called a one-stop shop where everybody came through and was able, all in that setting, to meet with instructors, actually see some of the things that they would be doing in certain career areas, and learn about some of the different job and even income opportunities. And even going to the comments earlier about the pay. These are, and I was speaking to someone yesterday, the pay that a lot of these jobs are really providing are really, the salaries are really sometimes generational changing right now. What we're seeing, and you mentioned CDL, that's one of the programs also in our department. These, in some cases, these are like six-figure type salaries, coming out where you're doing like, instead of a 4-year type degree, we're seeing, maybe a year or more or less, actually. You have a skill that you could actually come in and apply immediately. So that's one of the main ways we kind of talk and speak to parents about, the importance of understanding all of these options. And to the point earlier, as she mentioned about the concept of some of these areas being maybe jobs that don't look as pretty, or in some cases, I don't like to say this, but dirty jobs. We've had a lot of parents that even said that. But with regards to these jobs being ones that a skill that you are learning can be applied in many different areas. We have, the last thing I mentioned, we have some companies that are coming into our service territory that are focused not just on manufacturing, what some may say, okay, maybe food or our industrial equipment. These are companies in some cases that are looking at manufacturing even advanced type of things, whether it be integrated circuits, and the skill level for that type of work coming out of a college, like a technical environment. You're talking in some cases where 2 years could get you something that a person with a master's degree may not ever see, a doctorate in some cases. So that's one of the things as we tell parents, as we speak to students, we kind of educate them on what's out there. And last thing to this point about the welding, that's one of the biggest areas. Most people think it, like I said, a dirty job, but these are spots where I can't even provide enough candidates for the number of employers constantly asking, hey, you have some welders, you have some welders. So that's something to kind of consider, and that's how we speak to students. We kind of help them understand what the lay of the land is.
Great. Well, one more question then again from the other side. One way for young people to sort of find out if they might be interested in an industry or a career path is get their toe in the water. You talked about an apprenticeship program. What about part-time work study, internships, those kinds of things at your places? Are there those kinds of opportunities?
Yeah, so we have summer work. So if you're interested in, working over the summer while you're off of school, we have opportunities in our warehouse that you can do summer work. We have part-time opportunities. So if you're in school and you're wanting to work part-time and pay for school, you can do that. So we have a lot of opportunities for someone who may be in school to really come and join the Pepsi family and make a career out of Pepsi. So we have a lot of opportunities if you want to work part-time or just over the summer when you're off of school.
And typically at Hormel, from a college standpoint, we do have summer internships, a variety of functions. Or from a high school student level, we typically haven't done that in the past. However, it's interesting that you say that, because just on a call that this is an untapped resource for us, specifically here in the local areas. Because as I mentioned earlier, labor's a struggle across multiple facilities for us. So, and that high school market, providing summer jobs, warehouses, stuff like that, is an area that we're definitely looking into to try to take advantage of.
Good. I think we're going to call it right there. But I probably should have led with this. And when I say it's interesting and it's fascinating, I've been in Pepsi's plant. And prior to this expansion, they produce things, and I'm going to give away a secret here in a second, but they produce things 1,500 bottles a minute, all day, every day. So the innovation, the engineering, and the creativity that's required to constantly get to that level and improve from that level. I've been to Hormel. I'm pretty sure they told me they use 80,000 pounds of potatoes a day. They come from the field. They get through a process that they had to figure out for themselves over 52 years. They get cleaned, they get peeled, they get sliced, they get put in. The stew is made in the can, or cooked inside the can. It's just amazing stuff. And so when we get back to doing tours of these things, or if you're applying for a job, it may look mysterious or mundane from the outside, but there's a lot going on there. We really appreciate what goes into being a successful manufacturer. I've not been invited to International Paper, by the way, but I would drop everything to come and have a tour.
You got an invitation now.
Yeah.